Hello, hello. So I just want to talk about the situation I ran into the other day. Um, and it's been kind of weighing on me, and I feel like I just need to say something because this may help somebody. I was going to the store to get something the other day, and this couple got out of the car. I would say they were in their maybe late 20s, early 30s. And the female, the woman, was yelling at him, screaming at him over and over. I don't remember what she was saying. She did use some profanity, but needless to say, she was very upset. He was coming into the same store that I was going into. And I'm hoping to myself, I hope this young lady doesn't bring this into the store because I know somebody at the store is going to tell her this type of behavior is not tolerated. So she gets to the door and she turns around and comes back to her car, but she's yelling out, screaming about her frustration about something that happened with her and the gentleman she was with. And so the guy's in the store, he ends up being in the line behind me. And people are coming to him saying, man, she's mad, man. She is furious. And he's like, yeah, I know. Um, I don't know. Like, it's like, man, and one guy was like, man, I dealt with that. I was married for 20 years and I had to get out of that. I couldn't deal with that. He said, that's crazy because I've only been with her for a year. So he's walking out of the store after he pays for whatever he pays for. And she pretty much comes out of the car to meet him to continue yelling at him obscenities. And she kept saying, I don't care if we're in public. I don't care if we're in public. He goes to the car, he sits down, he closed the door. She continues to yell at him, yell at him, yell at him. I get in my car and I drive off. There's somebody that's going through something like that right now. Whether it's a relationship or whether it's a work relationship. But if you're with somebody that gets so mad, and I'm taking this under the understanding that I know that something had to happen to cause her to act that way. I know she didn't just act that way just because it was a Tuesday. Something happened that caused her to act that way. But when that person takes that frustration and airs it out for the world and has no regard whatsoever of who's around, what's around, all that person is worried about is their perception and being heard, and they're screaming obscenities, and they don't care how they're making themselves look, and they don't care how they're making you look. Here is what I know. This is a part of their behavior, and they're going to do it again. And if you accept it, the next time may be worse. They're going to push the envelope further and further and further. And I'm not one to say their relationship should break up over something like that because the person could be good. The person could be genuine. They just have an issue displaying that. But when it comes to the point that they are embarrassing themselves and embarrassing you, and they feel that it's more important to embarrass you than how they feel, and they have no regard for how they feel, you have to be careful. And if need be, I would say get as far away from that as you can, unless you have to. Now, I know guys who are in business relationships, and one person is a very fiery person, but it's money to be made, and I kind of get that to a degree when we're dealing with business. But in personal relationships, you have a choice in life. You can choose to accept that, or you could choose to say, I will not accept that. And some people, if you just have a conversation with them when they've calmed down, they can tell you why they act that way, what led them to act that way. And there may be a chance that something could, that person could change. But there's some people, no matter what you say, they're not going to change, male or female. And if you feel frightened when that person goes into that mode, I'm telling you, it's only going to get worse if you accept it. Protect yourself, believe in yourself, know your value, and don't accept anything less. I just wanted to get that off. Until next time, Dr. Hyde.